I'm Agnes Keating. I'm with Newport Polo, and we're here today to present Beach Polo, which is an exciting addition to the Newport Winter Festival. And what we'd like to do is bring people outdoors and experience what is otherwise a summertime spectator sport and enjoy it here in this beautiful natural setting on the beach in this great weather. The horses are going to be excited because they've been riding indoors all winter, so they're fit and conditioned, but there's nothing quite like getting out into a huge, broad expanse and really being able to turn loose and fly.
Last year, I believe, was the first winter polo that had been played in New England. And the winds one day were blowing 25 knots. Today we have a gale force advisory out, and the winds are supposed to gust to 45 knots. So you can see it's a very beautiful day. The sun is out, but the wind will be very interesting to see how the horses react today.
You have less room. The horses sink a little bit in the sand. Sometimes the ball gets lodged more in the sand. It's certainly the cold and the wind. Many of us couldn't feel our hands at all, never mind our fingers after the first chukker today.
This is part of the Newport Winter Festival, which has over 150 very exciting, family-oriented and fun events for this weekend all the way through next weekend. So we're kind of launching it this weekend, and we're glad to be a part of it.
It's just something you don't see every day, certainly not on the beach like this. You know, we're all used to coming down here and laying out a blanket. You know, watching ponies running on the beach is pretty wild with the ocean in the background, St. George's up the hill.
1990, we started coming to Glen Farm and building the field. In 1992 was our first international match.
This summer we will be hosting our 20th anniversary season of the Newport International Polo Series. So we're very excited to have some countries making their debuts, including Brazil and Kenya.
Ireland, which is their 20th year. They were the first team to ever,
First team
to ever come. England, Jamaica.
Chile will be our guest of honor at the International Polo Charity Ball in August, and Scotland and Egypt will all be joining us this summer for a really great celebration.
The camaraderie is the most fun. We travel internationally, I've played in many countries around the world, and the camaraderie with our fellow players around the world is just a really magical part of the sport.
We have a practice of lending our horses to the visiting players, which is kind of rare in the polo world because the ponies are valuable and it's a really nice gesture of hospitality. And it shows what great horsemen these visiting teams are, that they can get on a horse that they really are mostly unfamiliar with and be able to go out there and compete at a very high level and ride like the wind.
We don't bring our horses with us. We play the horses that are given to us generously by our compatriots wherever we're playing. And we trust them to mount us safely, and we try to do the same, and we do the same when they visit us. So it's a wonderful exchange of trust and adventure.
There's two types of polo. There's grass polo and there's arena polo. And today is kind of like a combination of both.
The rules of polo kind of boil down to the ball making a line of play that the players are really not allowed to cross. As each time the ball is hit, it makes an imaginary line in space, and you have to approach the ball and play it from the side of the line that you are on.
Ball is thrown in at the center field. Players try to drive a ball that's halfway between a baseball and a softball through a 25-foot wide goal that it has infinite height, so in other words you can hit it as high as you want.
It may appear to some people that it's chaos out there, that we're all just going after the ball, but it's really not. It's really, there's a method. You know, the number 1 is supposed to be in front and the number 3 in the back.
Everybody's included. Every player is critical.
You can bump into the other players and ride them off the line. You can hook their mallet. The players play right-handed, but they can play on either side of the horse, forwards or backwards, while they rein with their left hand.
The way to properly hit a ball is to be out of the seat. So you rise up and you turn your body this way so you can hit it correctly.
We're playing on the beach, so we're modifying the rules. Plays a lot like arena polo, which means there's 3 to a side. Outdoors, it's 4 to a side. You play on 9 acres, which is 9 times the size of a football field, and there's actually only 4 players on each side, which is kind of amazing when you think about it.
We don't want to play on a full-size, what would be a grass field, out here on the beach, because that's just too big of an arena for spectating today.
There are no goaltenders in polo because polo is a dynamic game, and these horses weigh 1,000 pounds, and we're coming down at speed. The rules are designed to prevent anybody or anything from getting in front of another player, as to prevent injuries to the horses and players.
The most important rule is that you can't cross the line of the player line of the ball. If the ball is traveling in a direction, the player has the right to follow that ball in that direction without having to look up and make sure somebody didn't cut across in front of them. That being essentially for safety reasons. And that is the biggest rule in polo, and then there are a variety of others.
Now the stick is called a mallet, and they vary in length depending on the size of the horse and the player.
The mallets are made of cane, which is like bamboo, only solid, and they're about just over 4 feet long, and they have a very hard wooden head to them, and they're swung kind of like a golf club with a lot of timing and rhythm and technique.
You hit it sideways, and it's more like the swing of a golf club, like a pendulum swing. Well, this ball is different than the ball that we use outdoor. This is like Stephanie referred to, the arena. It's an arena ball, which is kind of like a small soccer ball.
This ball is designed to not be able to hit it as far in order to keep it a little bit more controlled play.
But outside it's made of a plastic, a type of plastic. It's small, hard.
The solid ball travels great distances, and of course it's more difficult to hit at great speeds, but it can really sail.
Polo saddles tend to be nice and flat so that you can move all around. They don't have knee rolls to get in your way and that sort of thing.
Because in polo we want to be able to slide all over the saddle, make hits on either side of the horse, and also be able to stand up and reach, and we don't really want anything holding us in.
They're called the close contact, the ones without the pads.
Kind of like a jockey saddle, but not quite as frail. And it allows us to really feel the horse, because when you're playing, you kind of lose the sense that you're on a horse almost. It's one of the things that happens is you feel like your legs are the horse's legs. And in order to have that feeling, you really have to be in close contact with the horse.
Several of us kind of like the ones with the suede seats that help us stick on the horse a little better.
Yes.
These are full-size horses, yes. Yeah, they're mostly thoroughbred type horses, and their whole being is to play polo. They're born bred polo horses. They've been trained that way, and that was their thing. Polo ponies actually came from early in the turn of the 19th century, when everyone rode little horses.
Because in the 1800s, late 1800s, when polo was started, all of the horses, the larger size horses, were a requisition for military use. So the only horses that were available for sports were the ones that didn't make it, and they were ponies. We've kept that term, but a pony is a horse that stands 14'2" or shorter. Anything above 14'2" is technically a horse.
But as the sport evolved, it became a much faster sport and required a larger, faster horse.
There's a handful of really fantastic polo ponies that are 14'2", but most of them are over 15 hands, 15'2", 15'3".
Many of them are thoroughbreds, but we have a friend in Jamaica whose horses are a thoroughbred Arab cross, so it depends on what your preferences are.
They obviously are all different. They have different personalities, different moods. They do, well with different people.
You play 3 times a week, but you work them the rest of the time. Traditionally, the horses get 1 full day off, which is Monday, generally speaking, to just little downtime, a little extra relaxation, otherwise you spend the rest of the time. It's very important that the polo ponies stay fit for their safety and for their health.
It's like if I gave you a shot in the arm and you could run 40 miles an hour and had the mass of 1,000 pounds. That's kind of fun. But there's also this complex game of chess, so that once you get past the part of I hit it backwards, I hit it forwards, you're playing with 4 players and you're playing a chess game, a dynamic 40-mile-an-hour chess game with, without machines to propel you at 40 miles an hour. It's another living creature which you have to be able to communicate with. So not only do I have human teammates, I have equine teammates that I have to be able to communicate with and work within their abilities.
I saw a match 30 years ago and was enthralled with it, and started taking lessons a couple of weeks later.
Most important is dedication. You have to be really dedicated to it. It takes a while. It takes at least a year to practice the sport, to become somewhat competent on it. It takes a type A personality. You want to be very focused and very driven.
It's nothing you see on television. When you're clicking through looking for a sport to watch, you never see it. So it's just unique.
I mean, there's nothing like traveling at 30 miles an hour on a horse and hitting a ball through the uprights. It's very exciting.
When I first started, I noticed these guys who are older, in their 60s. I don't think that's that old now, but these guys who are older, some going into 70s, who are practicing every day. In other words, these guys were theoretically at the end of their career in polo, wanted to get better every day, and that's just the type of person that's attracted to polo.
And we'd like to celebrate afterwards with a beer. We call that the 7th chucker, and we hang around, tell stories, and we're grateful.
And I think it's something where you have to probably get down here and see it in person. Get over to Portsmouth and see it in person over there. I think it's going to grow a lot in popularity. I really do.
My name is Dave Markell. I'm the manager of Newport International Polo, and I'm the head umpire for the series.
And my name's Ted Torrey, and I'm a member of the Newport International Polo Club, and I'm the head umpire for the series.
No.